Hi, welcome to Key Chronicles, where we're talking about everything under the sun and in between. So today I'm going to give a few tips to CCAs or future CCAs of the USPS Post Office. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about, and let me just make this clear that I am speaking for my office perspective, so this is all opinion. This is not facts. This is not, you know what I'm saying? This is just something to get you through these topics that I'm going to cover today. So the first one is schedule. Okay, so off the rip, you will be working 6 days a week. Yes, 6 days a week. And you will have 1 day off. What day off that will be, you will never know. When I first started, my day off was Mondays. So for about 4, maybe 5 weeks straight, I was off on Monday. I was like, okay, cool. So I started, planning things around me being off on Monday, and then they hit me with a curveball. You off on Wednesdays. Okay, I was off on Wednesday for 2 Wednesdays. Then my day off changed to Friday. I was off for Friday for 2 weeks straight. And then it went to Saturdays. And it was like, I say about 4, maybe 5 weeks before I complained about it, because I don't know about anybody else, but I live in a small town where there's really nothing going on the weekends. So I don't care to be off on the weekends. I would rather be off during the week when I know mail is heavy. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to be at work during, on Saturdays. Like, that's a breezy day. And all married mail carriers know that's the truth. So, I was like, I would prefer a Wednesday, Thursday. I'll even take a Friday, you know what I'm saying? But that Saturday, nah. I even take that Monday back if they want to give it back to me. But anyway, message is, don't get too comfortable with a certain day off unless you have specific, information from your postmaster or your manager that, hey, this will be the day that you'll be off, which I know that won't ever happen, so don't bank on that. What I tell a lot of people is, my schedule, when I go to work, I'm preparing myself mentally to be there until 8 o'clock. If I clock in at 8:45, I'm mentally prepared to be there until 8 o'clock at night, because that has happened. The second thing I'm going to go over is the weather. Dress for the weather. Make sure that if it's cold, like when I went through my first winter, this past December, the past November that just left, and layers get you through. Like, I had 2 undershirts, a long sleeve shirt, and then my USPS jacket, and then I had on a pair of tights and a pair of other type of tights under my winter weight pants. The summer, the shirt jacks are the best thing during the summer. I have this on today because I gotta wash them. Don't mind me. But the shirt jacks are the best thing during the hot days because they'll get wet with sweat, but they'll dry faster. Shorts, yes, you need you some postal shorts. Just be prepared for the weather. If you guys haven't seen, I do have a video where I have a umbrella hat that is good for the rain and for the sun, because the sun really beats down on the top of your head. So if it's just beaming down on you, like I've had to wear it more for the sun than the rain, because it hasn't really been raining that bad as of recently. So just, after I say my prayers in the morning, I look at the weather app to see what the weather is looking like for today. So I know it's going to be cool in the morning and it's going to be hot by the afternoon. So I just make sure I wear a jacket. I won't, go full out with pants and trying to layer up. But when the winter time comes, make sure you're dressing with 3 layers. It's okay if you have to take a layer or 2 off in the back of your truck, because I've done it. So just make sure you have more than enough clothing when it's cold. And if you're one of those type of people where you get icky in the middle of the day and you want to bring an extra shirt to change halfway point, that's fine too. So just be prepared for the weather. Your shoes are going to get soaking wet, so don't leave them storage anywhere. Make sure you leave them in the open space where they can get dried out, so you don't start walking around smelling like mildewy clothes. That happened to me. So, next topic, daily changes. Daily changes. Okay, when I say daily changes, meaning like last week, I was scheduled all week for the aux route, which is not as big as the regular routes. It's probably a little bit over half the amount of time that the other routes take. So it's called an aux route. And so last week I was scheduled for the aux route for all week. Like, I didn't have a full route that I was scheduled for. So out of those 5 days that I was scheduled on the aux route, I probably did the aux route 2 of those days, because the other 3, a regular called out, or there were changes in the schedule, or there's sick leave. Anything happens with a regular and you're the top CCA, your day changes. So you could be thinking, oh, today is going to be a 4.5, 5-hour day. Then I'm going to possibly have to go help another town, or they're going to let me go home. And then when you get there in the morning, they're like, no, you're on city boop, boop, boop. And you have a full route where you're going to need assistance from a CCA, a fellow CCA. So things change every day in the post office. So always be open for change. Like, this is a way to get you prepared for life, because nothing is uniform. Nothing is always going to be repeat and step. So that's a way to prepare yourself in regards to things are always change. So I always go in the office in the morning with an attitude of whatever happens, happens. Now, once I get on inside and everything is what I think it is supposed to be, I just mentally prepare myself for what I got to do today. Look at the packages, see what's going on, looking good, okay. And that's basically it. Just be open for the daily changes. The next one is be courteous and respectful. What I mean by being courteous and respectful is when you're on your route, even in the office, like, I'm going to that subject, but being respectful and courteous on your route is a must, because let's just use me for example. The town that I work in has a population of 8,000 people, which means everybody knows everybody, which means that if I leave a bad taste of disrespect in one person's mouth, that could be spread amongst the whole town to maybe the whole 8,000, but if not the whole 8,000, 25 to 40% of that 8,000 is going to know, hey, that postal worker is rude and woo. Now, this may not be from their personal experience, but because I've gave one of their friends or possibly family members a bad experience, was very disrespectful, very moody, because of whatever reason, I'm labeled as the disrespectful postal worker. So I always try to be nice and respectful to everyone, and I would suggest that to everyone. You don't want to be known as he or she is always rude and, oh, why are they so unhappy? If you don't like your job, leave your job. Me personally, I listen to my music and I don't have my earplugs in. I let it play loud and I'm bebopping through the neighborhood. Everybody, I speak to everyone. Everyone is very nice on my route. They leave waters on their porch and a cooler for us. If it's snowing, they'll sweep their driveways. They'll get the snow out of the way. So, and people are not doing that for people who are rude and disrespectful. They prefer you to just break your neck trying to get to their mailbox. So, it doesn't hurt, and then it overlaps in your life when you're very nice and courteous and respectful, because when you're giving what you're giving out into this universe, I believe that you will get back. So if you're being rude and disrespectful, you're going to get rude and disrespect back. If you're being courteous and respectful in this universe, it's going to come back to you. It may not come back to you right then or when you want it to, but it will come back to you. And my last tip is in regards to office politics. Now, I am blessed and highly favored in this department because I've heard horror stories of people with their office. So this is my suggestion to anyone who is dealing with office politics. Do not entwine into office politics. Do not engage in office politics. That means disengage. Stay to yourself. Do not engage in personal conversation in things that you do not want everyone to know. Do not engage in conversations of bashing, and that goes for your fellow peers, supervisors, management, postmaster, because at the end of the day, we're all out here being judged. We're all out here persecuted and nailed to the cross by people who hardly even know us, okay? Now, mind you, I am not management. I am a city carrier, probably, what they consider lowest on the totem pole in the post office, okay? I give my postmaster and my manager the benefit of the doubt because of the simple fact, just how we have to answer to them, they have to answer to somebody. And the somebodies that they have to answer to have them on conference calls for hours. The ones they have to answer to are calling them and asking them for certain stats, and why is this like that, and why is that like that, and they have to explain this, and they have to explain that, and they have to explain this, and they have to explain that. And on top of this, they have to micromanage however many carriers are distributed out of their office. So with that being said, I give management a break. I do not have to deal with all the drama that a lot of people I have heard have to deal with in their office. So with that being said, do not participate in office politics, because you just don't know what you're getting yourself into. If you're a CCA, you're new to the program. People can talk about somebody yesterday, and you'll see them the day after they're having lunch together, because that's what they do. So don't come in there new and thinking that you're going to put your 2 cents in and you don't even know what's going on, because then the next thing you know, they're together against you. Get it? Got it? Good. So these are just a few of the tips that I have for right now. If you guys would like more tips on being a CCA for USPS, just let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can know what's going on with your girl at all times. And yes, I did just get off work, so I'm about to go. See ya, see ya, see ya, see ya, see ya, see ya. See you when it won't be ya.